Welcome to my class Electric Current Part 3. In this session you are going to learn what is meant by Ohm's law, what are ohmic conductors and what are non-ohmic conductors, what is meant by resistance, how can we prove Ohm's law. We will discuss all these things in detail. Children, before going to study about Ohm's law, you observe this animation. See, the water is filled in the tank which is at high level. When they are connected with the pipe, the water flows from higher level to lower level with the help of the pipe. So as you increase the height of the tank, when there is a difference in the heights of the tanks, more and more water flows. So flow of water is directly proportional to the height difference in tanks. So F is proportional to height. Now in the same manner, see this one. If I connect the two tanks with the help of the thinner pipe, less amount of water flows. So F is proportional to 1 by T, means thickness of the pipe. The flow of water is directly proportional to height difference. At the same time, the flow of water is inversely proportional to thinness of the pipe. Now the same can be applied to our electric current and potential difference. See this one. More the potential difference, more the current. More the potential difference and more the current. This was studied. What is that? The relation between the potential difference and electric current is studied by a German physicist known as George Simon Ohms in the year 1827 and is known as. Now let us learn what is meant by what is the definition of Ohm's law. We will study all these things in detail. See this one. What is the definition of Ohm's law? Look carefully. See, this was introduced by German physicist known as George Simon Ohms in the year 1827. It gives the relation between the potential difference and current flowing in the conductor. Now, this law states that at constant temperature, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. So mathematically it is given as I is proportional to V. It means as the voltage increases, the current increases. As the potential increases, current increases. Or V by I is known as constant. It is known as R is known as the proportionality constant, which is also known as what we call it resistance. So V is equal to IR. This is the mathematical relation given by George Simon Ohms. So what is the condition here? Conditions apply. Temperature and other factors remains constant. Now, how can we define the resistance? Resistance is nothing but nature of the material to oppose the flow of electrons is called resistance. In day-to-day life also we observe the resistance. For example, nowadays schools are not going. So the children resist to wake up early in the morning. Just like the tendency of the material, the tendency of the conductor to oppose the flow of the electrons is known as resistance. Now, what are the units of resistance? As you know that potential difference is measured with volts and current is measured in amperes. So, 1 volt by 1 ampere is nothing but 1 ohm. So, how can we define ohm? If a potential difference of 1 volt allows a current of 1 ampere through a conductor, then the resistance of that conductor is equal to how much? 1 ohm. So this is nothing but 1 ohm. 1 ohm, it is denoted with a symbol known as omega. What we call it? Omega. So 1 ohm is nothing but 1 volt, means 1 volt potential difference across the conductor allows 1 ampere current to flow through it. Then the resistance of that conductor is nothing but 1 ohm. Do an activity to prove Ohm's law. What are the materials required to prove Ohm's law? Voltmeter, ammeter, nichrome ore, and 4 electric cells of low potential difference and connecting wires. The sixth one is the plug key. See, observe this one. This is the simple circuit which shows to prove the lab activity related to Ohm's law. Here I have taken the connecting wires. I connected the circuit as shown here. See this one. Battery of the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the positive terminal of the ammeter in series. Next, at the same time, the negative terminal of the battery is connected to the negative terminal of the ammeter. Okay. Next, at the same time, you observe this one. This is the resistance which is connected, nichrome wire, which is connected in series with the ammeter and battery. You observe this carefully. The voltmeter is connected in parallel. Look carefully. These two are parallel, in parallel with the resistance. So you have to remember, in a circuit, the ammeter is always connected in series, whereas the voltmeter always connected in parallel. So voltmeter measures the potential difference across the nichrome wire, and ammeter always measures the current flowing through the nichrome wire. Okay, so you observe this one. In the beginning, see, I connected only one cell. I measured the current flowing with the help of the ammeter and the potential difference with the help of the voltmeter. I go on increasing the number of cells. So I recorded my observations in the ammeter and the voltmeter. So I observed as the potential difference increases, the current flowing in the circuit also increases. So we can say that V by I is equal to the ratio between the potential difference and the conductor is always constant. This constant is known as what we call it, resistance of the conductor. This is resistance of the nichrome wire. So V by, from all these observations, we observe that V by I is always constant. Okay, now you observe the motion of the electrons. The electrons are moving towards the I potential point. So why they are moving toward the I potential point? Some electric pressure is acting on the electrons. Okay, it makes the electrons to move towards the I potential point. We also call it as electromotive force of the battery. Are you clear about this one? So you remember this. The materials required to prove Ohm's law are: one is the voltmeter, second one is the ammeter, the third one is the nichrome wire, the fourth one is the 4 or 5 electric cells of low potential difference. So we can use the battery eliminator also, okay, to increase and to reduce the potential differences. Next, fifth one is the connecting wires, and the sixth one is the plug key. This is the simple circuit which shows the Ohm's law. Okay, so how can we do the activity, lab activity, using the 5 or 6 cells? Okay, we can do that in the laboratory. We will get the accurate values, accurate measures we can record. Okay, you can plot the graph for this one also. If you plot the graph to potential difference and current, taking potential difference and on x-axis and current on y-axis, you will get a straight line. So the graph of the potential difference to current is always a straight line. So you can find the unknown resistance of the material using the graph also. This is all about Ohm's law. Now see this one. What are the ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors? Let us discuss this. You observe this graph, the graph of potential difference and current. Here you got the straight line. Here you got the straight line. The materials are the conductors which obey Ohm's law are known as ohmic conductors. So the graph of potential difference and current is always a straight line. So these conductors are also known as linear conductors. Examples for ohmic conductors are copper and aluminum. You observe this graph. See this one. The graph of potential difference and current is a curve here. You observe this is the curve, not the straight line. So these are known as non-ohmic conductors. Example: diodes, transistors, and so on. These are the examples for non-ohmic conductors. So non-ohmic conductors are the materials which do not obey Ohm's law, are known as non-ohmic conductors. Now you observe this triangle, children. See this one. You observe these three triangles. This is known as magic triangle, Ohm's triangle. See, you can find the potential difference. If you want to find the potential difference, close the triangle here with the help of your hand. You will get IR, means V is equal to IR. Next one, if you want to find current flowing in the circuit, close it. You got V by R. So I is equal to V by R. Next one, R. If you want to find R, close the triangle, R part of the triangle with your hand, then you will get R is equal to V by I. So this triangle is known as magic triangle. So with the help of this triangle, you can find the potential difference and current and resistance in a easy manner. Are you clear about that one? I think I make you crystal clear about this Ohm's law and what is resistance. Children, let us discuss what are the important concepts we discuss now. First, I told you what is meant by Ohm's law. I defined you Ohm's law. From that, I defined what are ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors. After that, I also defined resistance and what are the units of resistance. After that, I have shown the Ohm's magic triangle. With the help of that magic triangle, you can find the potential difference, you can calculate the current, you can calculate the resistance. Thank you, children, for watching my lesson. Okay, be in contact and make sure that you have to watch all my future videos. If you have any doubt, please mail me to my mail address. Thank you, children.